Alrighty guys, we're back for Mossborn Mono Green, and this is a Foundation Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We got Mossborn Hydra, 3 mana, 0/0 with Trample, but it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it, and then also it has Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. Okay, that's super interesting, huh? So it's a landfall deck, essentially. We do have other landfall things packed in. Bristly Bill, Spine Sower, of course, making the cut. Landfall is whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So of course, you can put that +1/+1 counter on the Hydra on top of the stack, and then have the landfall on the Hydra activate to double those counters. It's going to be pretty darn good. And then the bottom ability on Bristly Bill should be pretty darn good as well in here. I was going to say that getting to 5 mana is pretty steep, but honestly, we got ramp. So for 3 and double green, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Nice. A whole bunch of other ways packed in to put +1/+1 counters on things like Innkeeper's Talent. It's a 2 mana enchantment class. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. At level 2, for just 1 green mana, permanents you control with counters on them have Ward 1. That really does come in handy at level 3 for 3 and a green. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. So yeah, you guys can see why we're rocking all 4 of these with that Hydra especially. Ordeal of Nylea. Okay, so this is a 2 mana aura enchant creature. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks, you put +1/+1 counters on it. You put 1 +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you sacrifice this aura. When you sacrifice this aura, you search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle, which of course will activate all of our landfall abilities too. I actually think this is going to be absolutely disgusting in here, and the worst thing that could happen, of course, is getting hit for a 2-for-1 from the opponent, right? As you're playing out the ordeal. But we do have some protection packed in with all 4 Snakeskin Veil. The +1/+1 counter, of course, is really going to come in handy, but the hexproof is also really going to come in handy. There's a lot of spot removal floating about. We got some ramp with Llanowar Elves. Okay. We got some more ramp with a Tender Wildguide. Okay. But then also, if you're not ramping with this, you can also just tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So really just fitting that +1/+1 counter theme nicely. So we have Archdruid's Charm as a bit of our removal. It can exile. You get to choose one of these. You can exile target artifact or enchantment. You can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Or you can search your library for a creature or land card. Reveal it. You put it onto the battlefield tapped if it's a land. Otherwise, you put it into your hand. Yeah, dude, I think this is going to fit perfectly in here. More ramp with Invasion of Zendikar, making the cut as a 3 of, just grabbing 2 lands, slamming them onto the board. Of course, that's what we want to do when we have that Mossborn Hydra out. We have Titania's command, has choose 2 here. Can exile target player's graveyard. You gain 1 life for each card exiled that way. Honestly, that could come in handy when we're seeing a lot of Reanimator. Or you can search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Yep. Or you can create 2 green bear creature tokens, or you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Nice, dude. I think this is going to be the perfect top end. And we actually have another top end here too. Primeval Bounty, 6 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Okay. Or it has landfall as well. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain 3 life. But only a 1 of, for a good reason. At this point in the game, when you get to this top end, I don't know how much it's actually going to do, honestly. This is a reprint, right? So you guys who've played with it in the past, you'll have to let me know, is this a janky pick, or is this going to be pretty decent in here? 25 total mana. We really do want to see mana every single turn, especially in a landfall build, so hopefully 25 is going to be enough. I think it is going to be when we have all this excess ramp, but then also we could kind of think of Bushwhack as like a 26th land, right? So it's more removal potentially, or we could just grab a basic land to help us activate those landfalls. Guys, I'm pretty sure that there is a potential for a turn 3 victory in here. I'm going to go over that real quick because I'm not 100% certain if this works. So I think this is how it would work though, and maybe we'll pull it off today, but I really do doubt it. So turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 player second mana, then you use the Llanowar Elves to ramp into Mossborn Hydra, right? So it comes in, it has the 1+1/+1 counter on it. Turn 3, how this would look then is, okay, you need so much to happen. So how this would look on turn 3, before you play your mana, you want to go Snakeskin Veil onto the Hydra. So now it has 2 +1/+1 counters. Then you play your third mana, it doubles the number of +1/+1 counters to 4, right? So it's a 4/4. Now you have 2 open mana. Since you played your third, you play Ordeal onto the Hydra. And then when you swing in with the Hydra on your turn 3, you get the extra counter from the Ordeal, which will put it at a 5/5, right? Then if it has 3 or more counters, you sacrifice it. And you grab those 2 basic lands. So those enter. Then the landfall happens twice. So it goes from a 5/5 to a 10/10. And then a 10/10 to a 20/20, right? So that's asking for a lot, dude. But I don't know. I guess it's in here. I'm pretty sure that's how that would work. It'd be a 20/20 swinging in. So at that point, I can only imagine the opponent would have removed something, but I don't know. Honorable mentions, guys. Stocking the Pantry was a card that I actually thought about because there's not a lot of card draw in here, or any card draw. There's also some other landfall creatures like Nissa that I thought about, right? Some other cards that work well with all these +1/+1 counters, like the Great Worm here. Yeah, I thought about it. Didn't make the cut this time. Goldvein Hydra could have been cool. This Scavenging could have been a neat card, something I considered. The Vorak is actually a pretty decent one, and the Proliferate would have come in handy. It could also help us grab more lands. Inspiring Call, again, guys, there's like no card draw in here, so something to consider, I guess. Okay, guys, I do my damnedest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, and sometimes I fail, especially since I wanted to go over that potential for turn 3 victory, and just, yeah, I don't know, wanted to talk about it first. Either way, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? For what I've been seeing in the meta so far, I think we're going to have a rough time keeping creatures on this board. I've been seeing a lot of like Boros Burn and stuff, and burn spells are rough. There's a reason I have all 4 Snakeskin Veils in here. Wow. I think this is a mulligan. Yeah, we'll mulligan. We could definitely do better than this. Oh. Crap. I mean, there's so many creatures that we can draw into. Down to 5. Let's go. There we go. Oh, this is beautiful. What am I sending? Top end forest. I'm glad we mulliganed, but now we really need to draw well. We really need to draw well. Ordeal isn't terrible unless that's a Elspeth Smite, which it probably is. So we just take the turn to dump our hand and hope, right? Hope that we continue to see more better things. Okay, they tap out. That's good news. Land. Okay, so, I mean, we can successfully level up the talent. Ordeal can go onto this elf, I guess, so we can ramp more, and we're also thinning the deck here too, right? So we sacrifice Ordeal, we get a couple lands out. Now, pretty much anything we draw should be decent enough. For going down to 5, that's actually pretty sick, but we have no cards in hand. We're just top decking for the rest of the game. Oh, 3 Tree City calling Angel. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Llanowar Elves can pull through here. Maybe we don't have to see anything off the top. We also could have split that wide, right? We could have put Ordeal onto the other one. Snakeskin Veil's huge, dude. Wow. Wow. That's a really good draw, guys. I don't think we could have asked for a better draw, honestly. No, Snakeskin Veil, why are you not Tamio's safekeeping? I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. Well, all of a sudden, guys, the Snakeskin Veil got a little bit worse, but I'm still going to keep it open to protect our Llanowar Elves over the map tokens for sure. We are going to swing with the 4/4. They're not too concerned here, I would say. Angels can easily gain a bunch of life. Crap, guys. I don't know why I wasn't anticipating removal for the talent. Because this talent with the elves, I guess that could have pulled us through. Valkyrie. Okay. Yeah, we need to find some of our top end for sure. Aha! Snakeskin Veil. Beautiful. It was such a good draw. It really, really was. It would have been so much better if Innkeeper's talent was still on this board, though. So we will spread wide. All our eggs into one Llanowar basket is not enough, I would say. Innkeeper's talent. Bro, I guess we keep it because if we send it, it could just be more mana. Right? So, swing for 8. We're gonna make the opponent scared that we have another Snakeskin Veil. There's no reason to play this forest right now. Unless we were up against discard or something. I'll tell you what, for going down to 5, not bad. However, Angels had a pretty slow start here, I would say. Or not a slow start necessarily, but more so like there's a lot more Angels could have done by now. They know we have Innkeeper's talent on top. Holy cow. That's game. Holy cow. Yeah, dude. Wait. No. This is the other Aurelia. Okay, we're fine. Okay, there's the new Aurelia that has the combat happen again, right? And that's actually a 6-mana card, so they gained 4 there, and then we're gonna end up dying next turn, so we actually don't have enough mana to get the Innkeeper's talent all the way leveled up too, so we could still full swing and maybe they... We do have the ability to tap one of the Llanowar Elves, but then we end up dying in the air anyways. Yeah, we could play this, tap the weaker Llanowar Elf and go for a huge swing onto 1. Just an extra 2 though, so we're just not going to do that, right? And we're going to go just an extra 1 here, offer that trade, swing for 9 on the ground. Actually, they might block because they don't know what's in hand, so if it's something that boosts our creatures, which I don't think they would be too scared of, but yeah, since they don't know what the forest is, they do go for the trade. Down to 6. They have 6 here on the board. They're going back up to 10. Again, we're just going to keep the forest awkwardly in hand. I'm pretty sure we're going to die here. And yeah. Okay. Archangel, yeah, so we do end up dying. Guys, our deck list totally did fine here, going down to 5 and really not seeing too much. Good game, opponent. All right, let's keep going. We had some cool things happen. There was the one turn where we could have put the aura on the other Llanowar Elves, but I just wanted to ramp right away with the Ordeal. It's a neat card, isn't it? I feel like, is that Ordeal also a reprint, guys? There's so many reprints from Foundations. You guys will have to let me know what some of your favorite reprints are, because I don't recognize a lot of them. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? There we go. Hey, look at this. Opening hand that we can actually keep. Well, actually, this is a lot of top end, isn't it? But... Right. I mean, we keep it at this point, too, with how we had to mulligan in that last game. I think we just gotta keep anything that actually has playable turn 1s and 2s. More mana, okay. So we could keep Snakeskin Veil open to protect our Llanowar Elves, but I'm just not going to do that. We're going to go for the swing. See what happens. This is, when, like, this is a possible 2-for-1, right? But maybe they send it back instead. Founding the third path. It's very likely removal off of the founding. Tear Asunder. Huh. All right. It's actually not terrible. Just a 1-for-1 trade out there. Another Ordeal. I mean, okay. We could go for the ramp this turn, but we're actually just going to wait. Keep the Snakeskin Veil as protection. And go for the ramp next turn. Yeah, not bad. That could have been much, much worse, guys. Much, much. And something else, too. If there was, like, guaranteed removal on the elves, I just wouldn't have swung and then kept the elves to protect itself and seen what happened. Archaeologist. Okay. So keeping the protection open this turn didn't end up working out for us, but that's fine. It's going to work out for us next turn, it looks like, as they'll be able to... Oh, yeah, they brought the Bitter Triumph back to their hand. Archdruid's Charm. So the land's going to be coming out tapped. We're probably going to keep Charm open with the Snakeskin Veil, right? So we'll go for the swing. We get good ramp here. And with all this top end, too, I think that's going to be very important. Titania's Command, exiling their grave, is probably going to be pretty darn important, too. Probably take the chump here instead of taking 4. And yeah, we don't want to use Archdruid's Charm just to get 5 damage through this turn, because we know that the Bitter Triumph is coming next turn. Or Tear Asunder. They have no hits for the Tear Asunder, but they are forced to exile something anyways, since Founding doesn't say up to. It just straight up says exile. So this is probably a Squirming Emergent style build, so I'd say we really need that 6th mana off the top, and then get Titania's Command down immediately. Exile their grave, like we have to, because Atrax is chilling waiting for the emergence. Crap. Okay, we're going to be forced to use Archdruid's Charm to exile the Omniscience here, right? Good thing they grabbed that instead of the Atraxa, huh? Holy cow. So on the stack, they're going to pop our Llanowar Elves. But, they have a free Atraxa in hand, guys. On the stack, they can do everything they want to do. Before the Omniscient, anything instant speed. Crap, dude, crap. I don't know how we get around the Atraxa play. But number 1, exile the Artifactor enchantment. And then anything that they want at instant speed is going to happen here on top of the stack. Atraxa from hand was worst case scenario, dude. Brutal, brutal. We're still going to need to see mana off the top, and Atraxa's hitting this board state, so I don't know exactly how we're going to deal with that. They're going to restock their hand here. Another Squirming Emergence. Wow, look at this. Sire of 7 Deaths making their cut. Cool. At 3-color Reanimator, it makes a lot of sense to have this. Right, Portal to Phyrexia is also in their grave too now. And we missed the mana. Guys, that's a shame. However, Innkeeper's Talent, at least we can level this up once. But I'm pretty sure we're out of this game, huh? So, with the Archdruid's Charm, this could have been our 6th mana. If they missed the Emergence, guys, I think we'd be in this easily. Easily. Because Archdruid's Charm, find the 6th mana, get the 6th mana on the board. We'd lose the Llanowar Loam Speakers, but that would have been the play anyways. We would have wanted to guarantee the 6th mana. Titania's Charm, exile their grave. I'm still going to stick around because I still want to exile their grave. But I don't think there's any way to get around the Atraxa. We found our 6th. Let's do this, guys. A couple bears, probably, and exile, of course, right? Target player. This could be a counter spell. They still have one card over here we don't know about. Back up to 27, guys. I don't know how we're gonna get this Atraxa off the board, though, so... Go for the Bitter Triumph. Okay. They actually discard the Bellow of the Woods. Cruelty. Wow. They're going to hit Primeval Bounty. No. It's Creature or Planeswalker. Yeah. We're fine. Down to 20. Playing it out, guys. We're going. All right. Primeval Bounty. No attacks on a 3-turn clock currently, but it could be much faster than that too, depending on what the opponent ends up doing here. Seeing some of our top end and everything. Yeah, dude. This could have gone either way. But the opponent's Reanimator deck list looks pretty good. Looks pretty powerful. So Picklock Prankster is what they end up doing here. There's the Sire of 7 Deaths again. I gotta try this in a Reanimator build or something. It looks pretty cool. Like the Ward pay 7 life. That's neat. The only thing it's missing is haste, which of course, you know, we play with red, so we know how to give it haste. First Strike, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Lifelink, Ward, pay 7. Okay, down to 13. Bushwhack, maybe that can eventually get us there, huh? To pop the Atraxa. Probably not, though. First creature spell, then we get a 3/3. And then I guess we could... If we go... How do we do this? How do we do this, guys? If we go Snakeskin Veil onto the Beast, then we go 3 more counters onto the Beast, right? Then we can go Bushwhack to fight 7/7 into 7/7. And then it has Death Touch, so we just want to put these onto other creatures anyways. Yeah, Trax's Death Touch. They go up to 38, and we take out the Jace with our 5/5. It's actually pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Now they do, oh, they get to reanimate anyways, guys. I was completely overlooking that, but what else were we gonna do, right? Wait until after the cruelty happened? But then if we waited... They had another Squirming Emergence ready. They're milling more off the Founding. Dude, we're just stuck between a rock and a hard place. That was still a really, really cool turn, but they only have 16 cards remaining. What if we survive long enough to mill them out? You know what would help us do that? Another command. Oh no, we already have... Both of them are in the grave. Crap. What else could we see here then? Bitter Triumph. Yeah, dude, we're gonna play this out because we're still on a clock, and I want to see more off the top. I wouldn't mind seeing more of what the opponent's doing with reanimation. One with the multiverse off the Squirming Emergence. Velgavoth for free. Everything for free, guys. They actually just pass it back, though. Mossborn Hydra. Nice. We get a 3/3. And then that's it. They swing in the air, lethal damage, drop them that GG's. I don't know, man. I'm still feeling like that could have gone either way. I think that Squirming Emergence, unfortunately, being right on time was brutal. However, that being said, guys, it's probably a 4 of in the opponent's deck list. Like, they're going Sultai for a reason. And so Squirming Emergence, at least a 3 of, probably a 4. There's the Sire of 7 Deaths. Cool. So one with the multiverse is 1 less mana than the Omniscience, right? This is 10 mana. Holy cow. This is 8 mana. But one with the Multiverse, you only get 1 free thing. Meanwhile, this just lets you dump your whole hand. So the Omniscience and then the Sire of 7 Deaths are the only new cards so far. Opponent, I was letting you swing on in here, buddy. Go ahead, get your swing. I can only imagine that the other opponents do not let you get a fun swing very often. So, let's drop them the GG to see if they hurry along with the swing. And if they do end up running the timer down, then we'll go ahead and concede, guys. And always feel free to skip ahead to the next game. So we got chapters down in the description. Chapters at the bottom of the video too. If you mouse over it, you can see them. They go for the mill here on us, and since Velgavoth is on the board, they actually just get to peer into our deck list a little bit. I hope they can appreciate a little bit of a different version of mono green, huh? They were also dropping some emotes, so let's do this one. We're just relaxing, we're just chilling, having a good time. So their free card for the turn is going to be Archdruid's Charm. And then Innkeeper's Talent. Oh, they're not, these aren't free cards. They're paying life with the Velgavoth. Yeah. That's kind of fun. That's kind of neat. No way to give these haste, though. And you know what else, too? They might have a quest to play green cards. We're helping them out, guys. Look at us go. I can't believe they're not swinging. That's funny. You know what we see sometimes, too? Sometimes opponents get so far ahead, they just pass the turn. And then, hey, we get to see an extra card off the top, I guess. If they do pass the turn, guys, we'll concede. Don't worry. There's the swing. Good game, opponent. I can appreciate what the deck list was doing. Next time, Squirming Emergence. You gotta hide in that build just one more turn, okay? You gotta hide. Alright, guys, let's keep the ball rolling. That one actually took a while. I probably should have conceded earlier in that one, let's be real. I'm very, very greedy with my concedes, and I always like seeing more off the top end. There's always like that possibility of having just a terrific comeback. And in that game in particular, a comeback would have been so satisfying. So we stuck it out, and we let the opponent have a fun swing too. I do that as much as possible because there's too many moments where we finally get to have everything established on the board. We play a lot of janky combo decks and stuff on the channel here too. There's so many moments where we finally get there. The opponent concedes, and it's just awful, man. Like, you just want to do the thing so bad. Man. I don't think that's what the last opponent was doing, though. You know, they were taking their time for a reason, but see if Bristly build number 2 survives, and we do have 25 mana in here, guys. We should see that third easy peasy. We are missing the third for now. We could try the Ordeal onto the Bristly bill. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 2-for-1, so I think just keeping Snakeskin Veil against Orzhov colors is a little better here. All right, let's see if it lands. It does. It could have been an Elspeth Smite or something on the stack since they still had 1 mana available. Third mana, easy peasy. Here it comes. Here it comes, guys. Third mana. No, that's something. The chump blocks for days from the opponent. I think we can actually attempt the Ordeal this time around. It's too bad that we didn't see the third mana, because we could have played it. Bristly Bill would have been at 3 counters and then sacrifice the Ordeal. We would have ramped beautifully here for this hand. If we had a second Snakeskin Veil, I would have just played Loam Speakers for the turn and kept the Snakeskin Veil open. If we see our third, there might be a case to be made for Archdruid's Charm just ramping us instead of anything else, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to be forced to use the ramp on this. Innkeeper's Talent is probably... Instant speed spot removal is awful, guys. I think we just want to go for the swing. They'd still want to pop it before the swing anyways, but they don't know if we have a Snakeskin Veil in hand. So that's what we're considering here. Instead of going Innkeeper's Talent, We're just kind of sort of playing around another piece of spot removal. And that totally works. That works out nicely. Because now we got the ramp. we got the mana that we've been missing, right? And this time round too, they still don't know if we have a Snakeskin Veil. We're just going to go Loam Speakers instead of Innkeeper's Talent. All of that would have been much, much better if Mossborn Hydra was actually on this board. A Mossborn Hydra has Trample too, so it gets around the infinite chump blockers that can be produced from the Elspeth. Uh-oh, Liliana. Sacrifices 2 creatures, and they get to draw 1 here. I'd say that is pretty good for the opponent. Hey, now we see some mana. I don't mind seeing it. Because let's go... Hydra comes in with 1. Innkeeper's Talent. I guess it's an awkward order to be doubling, but it's still the order that we go for, right? I guess so. Now, if we see more mana and we actually get to keep the Hydra around, the Titania's command, of course, is going to be terrific here. But what are the odds that Hydra gets to stick around? I'm not really sure. They do go ahead, generate a 2/2. Virtue of Persistence cleans up the Hydra easy peasy. Brutal match, huh? Orzhov Planeswalkers. We're seeing a huge variety right now in Standard. Invasion of Zendikar. I think I'm just going to try the Hydra again, though. And then what we have this turn, too, is we have the Innkeeper's Talent to level 2. And you guys can see, again, another game showcasing why all 4 Snakeskin Veils made it into the cut. Essential for when we're doing something with important creatures like this. Okay, they go ahead, pop the Fable. Fountain Port generates a fishy. Liliana. Oh no, guys. Oh no. I mean, it was Orzhov Planeswalker, so we should have known that the Liliana of the Veil was coming down at some point. Meanwhile, the other Liliana is Dreadhorde General. It's a very scary card here, man. For 6 mana, that does a lot of things. All right, kind of sort of picked apart in the last few games, but honestly, I'm not giving up on this deck list, guys. Let's go ahead and ramp with the Invasion of Zendikar. Also, this was a game where we missed our 3rd mana for a lot of turns, and being at 25 mana, I don't know, that felt a little unlucky, right? They do have 11 on this board state. Exactly. And Ashiok as well. Again, opponent's deck list is pretty cool. Yeah, we're seeing a huge variety. And I've never minded seeing these Super Friends builds. Drop the GG. Elspeth going into the air. They actually had a lot of excess damage, didn't they? -3 because of the Elspeth's 2 counters. Where was the other boost, guys? I'm not sure right now. They had another boost somewhere else, and I kind of just overlooked it. 33 minutes in, guys. Come on. Come on now. We got this. We got this. We're going to end on a high note here. I'm enjoying the deck list. First of all, if we see another 2-mana hand, I suppose we have to consider the mulligan, but also getting a little unlucky not seeing the 3rd that many turns. See, 3-mana hand, we'll keep this all day. Opponent goes first. At least we have Snakeskin Veil to try to protect our things when it comes time to. Yep, I don't mind it. Carrot Cake. Mono white mid-range is very likely what the opponent is playing here. Guys, we're not gonna play into instant speed, spot removal, get lost, all that. We're gonna take the turn, force some setup. Oh, it's not mono white, guys. They got blue over there. No, we should be extra scared then, because counter spells can happen. And they definitely want to counter this Bristly Bill. Why did I play that mana? Why did I do that? I have no idea why I did that, guys. Hopefully it doesn't come down to one extra counter here. All right. Well, Snakeskin Veil is open. Virtue. Okay. Passing it back, no removal. At least we stayed safe with the Snakeskin Veil. This time we'll do things in the proper order and attempt the Hydra. It lands. Beautiful. All right. Not bad, not bad. We got to keep the Snakeskin Veil open, guys, regardless. Fey Bloom Trick. Okay, cool. They get to tap a creature, and I guess they tap our Bristly Bill so we can't swing with it for the turn. We're not going to activate this. Yeah, we could get Ward on both of our creatures, but just keeping this Snakeskin Veil is probably so much better. Of course, they'd want to pass it back anyways and try to do something on our turn probably, but they swing in the air. I'll tell you what, we could actually we could win this turn. We really, really could. Llanowar Elves. All our eggs into one basket. Probably not worth it when we're about to put the Ordeal onto the Hydra as well. Actually, we don't have to put it onto the Hydra. They're at 20, guys. Again, all our eggs into one basket just doesn't seem super terrific here. We could go Ward, Snakeskin Veil, or Ordeal onto the other card as well. The Ward could be enough here. Ward first, and then have Snakeskin Veil open as well. I think that's okay. We go for the swing. Again, we don't want all our eggs onto the same basket. Even though we're going to try to win with that Hydra, we have to kind of consider things that could help the opponent get around this. And putting it all into the Hydra when the Hydra is about to boost this extremely too would be a little silly. Now, Bristly Bill does not have Trample. That's a 40-40, Ward 1, Mossborn Hydra. The opponent chumps. And... not on my watch. I agree, opponent. Not on my watch. Hexproof. Haha, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, dude. All 4 Snakeskin Veils. We just proved why that they're in here once again. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we got to pull that off for the last game, guys. Because after a couple pretty brutal matches where the deck list got completely picked apart, it feels great to do exactly what the deck list was trying to do. And I was trying to play it out as safely as possible because realistically, especially when there are so many cards in Standard right now, there could have been something that the opponent found to get around what they had 4 open mana. There's that new blue card that returns all attacking creatures or something, right? For 4 mana. What's that called? Aetherize. 4 mana instant speed, return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. Would have gotten around the Ward, would have gotten around the Hexproof from the Snakeskin Veil, would have completely been just like brutal. First of all, we were still trying to spread the damage separately there regardless, but Aetherize would have messed that up anyways, so that's something to think about, I guess. All right. Here's the deck list again, guys. That was fun. That was a good time. I like this list. I think it's probably a pretty risky list overall to play. You know what? Something I could see is actually 3 Innkeepers and going up something else. And maybe more protection, honestly, dude. or more ways to actually hit our opponent's creatures too. If we found better ways to take care of that Atraxa in that one game too, that was a rough match, man. That was a very, very early Omniscience with that Squirming Emergence, but the deck list that the opponent brought to the table was set up just beautifully to actually accomplish that super early Omniscience. So yeah, I like the Primeval Bounty as a one-of on the top end. Again, you guys will have to let me know. I'm pretty sure it's a reprint. I don't really know. I haven't, like, Foundations has so many reprints. I haven't kept up with them well, and I don't know a lot of older cards too. So, but if it is, and you guys have already played with it, or if you guys are playing with it right now, let me know. Is this like a janky pick, or do we like this on the top end? Because I kind of liked it, but you know, it would make it even better if one of these abilities actually just helped us draw cards, because there's no card draw in here, which is actually pretty brutal. We could consider some card draw somewhere, but I don't really know where and what. Something we didn't actually get to do is actually flip the Invasion. Did we even play the Invasion today? It's a 3 of in here. But yeah, we didn't get to flip this today because I don't even think we played with it. So when you do flip it, it's a 4/4 Vigilance Haste. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color as long as Awakened Skyclave is on the battlefield. It's a land in addition to its other types as well, so that's kind of neat. Ordeal of Nylea. I actually really liked this, guys. I really liked this card. And again, I don't know if it's a reprint, and I don't know if it's like technically supposed to be a janky pick or if it's actually just like really good. I have no clue, dude. But I do know one thing. I really liked it in this list. I guess something I could see too. Yeah, dropping an Innkeeper's talent down to 3 and going up something that helps you draw cards. That's one. That's one thing for sure. Outside of that, you're still going to really appreciate the Innkeeper's talent when you see it. We had some stuff in the honorable mentions that helps us draw cards, but there was some stuff that weren't in the honorable mentions that we could also consider too. Hunter's talent would double as more removal. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control is a pretty good ability, as we know. It's a bite. And then level 2 for 2 mana. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. And what that helps you do is like give trample to a big old chunky bristly bill, which, you know, that's kind of important sometimes. Or trample to big old chunky Llanowar Elves, as we saw earlier against that Angel deck list. That's possible too. You're plugging a lot of +1/+1 counters onto things. More importantly, though, at level 3 for 4 mana, at the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, hopefully you do, you draw a card. So I think I just talked myself into that, actually. It's one. We have one card that draws us cards, guys. There's other things that could have made the honorable mentions. Garrick's Uprising, a 3 mana enchantment. Again, I think this is a reprint, I think. So when this enchantment enters, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Hopefully that's when it enters, but it might not be if it's coming out on turn 3. You know, your turn 2 was a Bristly Bill, maybe. So it's only going to be a 3/3 once you play your 3rd mana. So that's important. On turn 3 in this deck list, you're probably not drawing a card, but later on, you probably draw a card, maybe. And then creatures you control have trample. Okay, again, big old chunky creatures having trample is kind of important. Creatures you control have trample, and then whenever a creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, you draw a card. Wait a minute, that doesn't work. That doesn't work because our creature, wait a minute. Wait just a darn minute. Yeah, they're entering way weaker than that. And then they're boosting up eventually. Yeah, never mind, guys. Scratch that off the list. I'm glad I read it, though, because I have to keep this in mind for future deck lists, I would say. I feel like overall, that's actually a decent card draw. And a very similar concept to Trailblazer, right? Whenever another creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, draw a card. Huh. Wonder if there's like a deck list where we could run both of those. It might be excessive, though. What else, guys? What other card draw? Tribute to the World Tree. Might be a little slow. Whenever a creature you control enters, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Again, our creatures are entering much, much weaker, and then we're boosting them as time goes on. Guys, let me know in the comments. What's some other card draw we could add to this deck list? Oh, Trash the Town, maybe. It's a 1 green mana spree instant speed for the spree cost of +2. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. And then for the extra cost of 1, target creature gains trample until end of turn. And then for the additional cost of 1, until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. Draw 2 cards, guys. 2 cards. Trash the town. That's one to consider, maybe. What would I drop for the trash the town? I still think I like the Bushwhack. I like the Hunter's Talent trade out. Trash the town could be... We didn't get to see Invasion too much today. Maybe drop the Invasion down to 2, go up a Trash the Town as well. Tough decisions, man. Because overall, I think more testing's required. And then also overall, it's probably going to be janky regardless of how we put it together, right? There's some other ways to put like mono green counters and stuff together. I'm interested in trying out artifacts soon with all the extra counter synergies. And I think that might be a little less janky and a little bit more aggressive as well. Neat stuff. Yeah, more testing required. Oh, also, guys, put everything on the Do Not Craft list. I've been bringing this up every single video for like 2 weeks after a new set, at least, right? Put everything on the Do Not Craft list. You just never know where the meta is going to settle. No one does. And then it settles, and you might have crafted a deck list that just does not perform well in that meta at all. And even if you are crafting it for fun, some of the fun is just actually winning too. So yeah, put everything on the Do Not Craft list. Guys, you'll have to let me know, do you agree with what I traded out here? Oh, you know what? Tender Wildguide could also be the drop. Tender Wildguide could also be the drop here, but I think we don't want to lose too many creatures. I'm looking at this deck list, guys. I've actually changed my mind a little bit here, right? When I talked about going down the Invasion of Zendikar for the Trash the Town, there's just something about the 4 Innkeeper's talent. I think it's still going to be super essential to see. And since we are ramping so successfully, it's going to be pretty easy to get through those levels. And does that mean we should just go up the second Hunter's talent instead? Probably not. I like this. I think that looks a little bit cleaner. And Archdruid's Charm didn't get to do too much today. I think it's usually going to do a lot, and I think the 3 of makes sense. However, this could be another one that we drop down to 2, and maybe that would be the Trash the Town pick. If Trash the Town also had a fight ability, I would consider just dropping the Bushwhack. Drop the Archdruid's Charm, Bushwhack, go up a couple Trash the Towns. I could also see dropping the Archdruid's Charm to go up a Hunter's Talent too, but I don't think so. I think Archdruid's Charm, putting a counter, also doing the fight, right? It's a bite, actually. It is a bite. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Okay, I like this. We made a very small change, but overall it's still going to be just more testing required. We got to revisit this Mossborn Hydra at some point in the future again, too, and see what we can get done with it. Maybe put it in, I don't know, Jund landfall or something. Maybe give it some haste. And with Jund landfall, we have a lot of other options to consider then too. So that could be pretty fun, right? All right, guys. Hey, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. Make sure you let me know what you thought of the deck list in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.